with a tweet that our CEO made a couple of days ago. And if you have that, Murray, go ahead and put that tweet up. And then we're just going to discuss this. So he said, let's be clear. In parentheses, progressive black pastors who promoted Black Lives Matter while ignoring BLM's Jew hatred, just like the vast majority of their Jewish counterparts did, are the ones demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and letting Hamas off the hook. Leftist politics are all fun and games until they come for you. And then he said Ipsy's op-ed, which is premium. BLM purported to speak for Black America. One of the things that we noted from kind of the beginning of it, and what we peeped, was that when we would call out Black Lives Matter, the pushback that we received was almost never from other Black people or people who supported Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter took a position against the nuclear family, against the Black father. They were against entrepreneurialism. So it wasn't just Israel. They had these positions that I was like, this is not something that Black people support. And then they started doing the whole Ferguson to Palestine. So, okay, this is not only is it not what Black people support, it's a game. Then we started seeing, okay, this is where their funding is coming from. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. Where is it going? Who is bankrolling them? Like all that stuff. We said, no, this is not right. Right? This isn't an authentic movement. The pushback that we got was not really from BLM Black people, because their thing was, yeah, that's what we're saying. As a matter of fact, I just a couple of weeks ago, I tweeted something and I screenshot it and put on Instagram, and my tweet was basically, newsflash to my Jewish brothers and sisters. We keep using this language saying that we're disappointed in Black Lives Matter or they betrayed us. They were never on your side from the beginning. And they were, to their credit, they've been very clear about that. And I got a couple of reposts from anti-Israel BLM leaders, like people. They retweeted. I don't know if they knew that, I'm a Zionist, but they saw that tweet and they said, yep, we were never on y'all's side. There are people who don't like me for anything, right? Who hate Ipsy, they saw my tweet and they retweeted it because they were like, yes, what he's saying is correct. We've always been clear about standing against Israel. We've always been clear about standing against values that you got. I don't know. What do you mean disappointed? When did we give you the impression that we advocated for a strong Black Jewish, like when did we give you the impression that we were pro-Israel? When did we give you the impression that we were for you? And I was like, I saw that, I was like, wow, I'm getting retweeted by BLM people. So we knew from the beginning, we didn't get pushback from them because they would see our stuff and say, yeah, that's what we said. We've written articles upon articles just documenting what they said, right? Just documenting what the former founder said. We're trained Marxists. Wow. They were like, yeah, yes. They say that Israel's an apartheid state. Yes. In their Charter for Black Lives, they go all in about Israel committing genocide. They're like, yes, and yes. That's what we do. So I didn't understand this. We are disappointed. What are you disappointed in? They didn't hide. So the pushback we got was from white, left-leaning, white liberal, white leftist people. And unfortunately, our Jewish brothers and sisters in the Zionist space, right? Not the anti-Israel. We always get flack from the anti-Israel, everyone, Jews, blacks, whites. But I'm talking about within the pro-Israel space, within the Israel advocacy space, the most pushback we received was from people in our space, right? People with whom we shared a space, saying things like, you don't understand because BLM is about this and this and this, and it's not our turn right now. So sometimes it was even an acknowledgement that, yeah, what they say about Israel is problematic. The head of the chapter in LA is Melina Abdullah, who was like a Farrakhan follower, but it's not our turn right now. Yes, at the DC rally, a guy stood up and said all this stuff about Israel, but it's not our turn right now. Yes, they march down the streets and they say from Ferguson to Palestine, and they wave the Palestinian flag all over the place and yell intifada, intifada. But it's not our turn. It's not our turn, and we just got to let them have this. And from the get-go, we were like, first of all, don't infantilize us, because that's what you're doing. What you're saying is, let the black people have their moment of temper tantrums, right? Go ahead and let all their stuff. Go ahead and let them burn their stuff down. Go and let them burn their own buildings down. Go ahead and let them do all that stuff, because they're angry, and we understand their anger. It's not our turn. By the time you get to October 8th, 9th, when BLM Chicago posted that graphic of the paraglider and said, "We stand with Palestine," I'm sorry, but I didn't understand the clutching of pearls. I was like, you guys, they've been like this. They've had multiple opportunities to condemn Hamas over the years since 2013, and they haven't. Of course they're going to say they support October 7th, because that is the agenda of BLM. BLM is not an authentically black movement. It may have black people in it who support it, but it's not a thing, you guys. So now, talking about what's happened with the pastors, what we see is the whole thing. Let's not look at this in a box, you guys. Let's not look at this in a myopic one thing at a time. I said it before, there's so much information, sometimes we forget certain things. No, let's look at the whole thing. Before these black pastors came out and called for a ceasefire and condemned Israel, you had black, white, Jewish, rich people signing off on, supporting, and defending BLM, because that was the trend to do. And coming against us for saying, no, that's not cool. Told the story once before, I'll tell it again. There was a lady who messaged Ipsy once on the Facebook. I just happened to see it pop up. And she said, "Hi, thank you so much for what you guys are doing. And, I just want to know, is there any way that, that I can help with the black community? I want to help the black community." We said, well, we partner with black organizations like Pastor Corey Brooks, Project Hood, right? Helping others obtain destiny. If you guys never heard of Project Hood, look it up and support the amazing work that Pastor Corey is doing in Chicago. We pointed them to Dr. Bob Woodson and the Robert Woodson Center. Amazing work. We have these here. There's organizations you can look up, you can support. They do the real work, and so supporting them would be huge. I responded with that, and then she wrote back and said, "So no, I want to march. Like, where are the marches? Like, where can I go and march? That's what I want to do. I want to be able to stand in solidarity, like that in marching." So I responded and said, "Okay, well, we don't really do that. I mean, BLM is doing a lot of marching, but they don't really speak for the black community. They actually advocate against some of the things that the other organizations I just listed for you are trying to push. For us, we don't really participate in that we know doesn't really do much right now. There are other, if you want to really do something, here are the organizations that I listed. You could really be making a difference by helping them." And then she said, "I didn't recognize this was a right-wing organization. Never mind." I kid you not. How did you get right-wing from we don't really march, but you can connect with these organizations? Okay, but this was the case across the board. Let's see, Pastor Matrilla Hall, she said, "As a Christian pastor, I've never been for BLM. I keep saying it's a distraction for destruction." Yes, ma'am. Pastors need to remember we are leaders, not followers.